much.
How you doing?
I'm good. No, not really. Hey, Marie. I guess you're the only one here, huh?
So, as you
Oh,
can
Lord.
see, Keilah is a little bit under the weather today, and has been, right?
Yeah, the see pneumonia, I guess is what they
Oh,
said.
sitting
They,
pneumonia, not walking pneumonia, sitting pneumonia.
uh, yes, I got crackles and all. Hey, Sophia. I haven't talked to nobody so long. I
Oh,
have crackles in all four lobes, so yeah, pretty bad. But my COVID test keeps coming back negative every
well,
time.
that's good.
I don't want no more Q-tips in my brain.
Yeah, and you don't want. I mean, I don't know how that complicates things if you have it. I mean, but I can't imagine it's good if you have pneumonia and then you have COVID on top of that.
I had two pneumonias in COVID the first time I got it, and then ended up with long COVID. Hey, Sophie. Oh, yeah.
Um, hey, Sophia.
I
So,
know everybody's probably on Aaron's live because I didn't realize that he was going live also. So they could catch us on the replay. This is kind of
yeah,
laid back.
yeah, it is kind of laid
I'm just
back
waiting for
today.
the hurricane to come take me. I mean, come take me away. Hey,
Hi,
just says
Jessica. Hi there.
I wanted to show
Um,
you. Look. It won't go down that far. Crap. Here.
Mental health matters. There we go.
Yeah, I got my bag. I have all kind of stuff in my bag too.
Nice. I love that. Um, so we thought today, like I said, it's gonna be kind of laid back, but you know, just thinking about going through a lot of stuff and there's a lot of heaviness. Just sometimes watching YouTube, being in life, doing life is kind of gets heavy and things, and a kind of a different approach, which is
Yeah.
positive psychology. I don't know how many people know really about positive psychology, but it just really came into more of a popularity with, as we were talking before we came on. Martin Seligman is his
John
name.
don't have a link.
What? John
John don't
doesn't.
have a link. He can't
Okay.
get it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Keep talking, please. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Hold
no
on.
problem. So he started talking about like positive, making, instead of thinking about like mental health and like what's negative, what's wrong, what's going on that's problematic, more of the switch to like positive, like what helps increase well-being, what helps go towards hopefulness instead of hopelessness. So kind of like the other side of the coin and focusing more on that, right? Not that it's the other side of the coin, but just more focusing in the positive direction, which is kind of cool. And so
Still
we
gotta
thought
come.
I thought it might be good just to talk about in kind of that spirit of things of um like positive psychology. So part of it is um what things can improve positivity. And this is actually, as you probably know, Keilah, from doing the kind of work you do and running the
Yes.
kind of place that you do. If
Yeah, we
the
promised we have mods coming. I forgot to send her the link.
Yeah. So if someone has like really, if there's really just a negative, punitive kind of feeling in a work environment, it's just terrible. Like I've
Are
been
we
in those
talking?
type.
Are we okay? So we talking about
Yeah,
work or my patients?
no, no, work environment
Work
first.
environment.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
work environment first. Okay, so
yeah,
it's like the measles. I always like to use it as an analogy, or like COVID. If one person has that, it's like a domino effect. So you
yeah,
have to intercede somewhere as being the boss. I have to stop that because what affects my employees also affects the residents.
right. That's right. That's true. Very true.
They mirror
And
it. Yeah.
and well, it affects a lot of things. And then if someone who goes
Hey,
in,
Violet.
if someone goes in with a more positive attitude, and then over time, over the days, they're exposed to this more negative situation, um,
Yeah.
it's not great. So the idea there is, hey Dawn, um,
Hey, Dawn. How are you, honey? Oh, I'm just reading all the gossip. I'm sorry. I gotta.
so
They're blowing me up. I don't want to hear this right now. I
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I'm being positive today.
So we're talking about for those of you joining us, we're talking about positive psychology, just what that means, and I'd be interested in if you want to put in the
Hey,
chat.
Kathy.
You want,
Dawn, Violet, everybody. Yeah. I'm
yeah, anyone who's had an experience with it, and how we use it in therapy is looking. Sometimes things like strengths-based counseling or strengths-based therapy comes out of positive psychology. So looking, instead of like let's say Keilah and I were in therapy together, and she was my client, I would ask her like things like, what are your the things that are positive in your life, like who's there to support you, who's your support
Right.
system, right? And I would ask, like, what things have you done that have really been successful before to help yourself? um, what things have you seen other people do that have you noticed that you want to try? So
That's where I don't mean to talk over you.
no,
My ears are flooding too, so I'm sorry if I do that. I apologize
no,
for
go
that.
ahead.
But no, okay, so that's what I was gonna say. Instead of having this controlled group that everybody, where we do everything with, y'all apologize about the frog. I got pneumonia. But we already have a control group. It's called society. So you look out in society and see what makes them happy instead of always digging into what's going backwards, what's making them sad. I mean,
Yeah,
to me, that's where, that's that's the kind of, in one of my classes at school, when we did the positive psychology, but it was just first coming out. Or, well, no, it's been here for a long time, but it just hasn't really been spoken about. But it was, the control group has already been done. I mean, that it's society.
mhm,
And so you have someone that comes in with negative feelings, negative mental illness. We don't need to start and go all the way back to the very beginning and rehash everything that's made them feel so bad in their life. And they said, you just look out and find, why aren't we asking what makes this person happy instead of going all the way back to find out what makes them so sad? I don't know
yeah.
if it's
And,
the,
I think with positive psychology, it's not to say we totally avoid suffering or we totally avoid some of
oh,
the challenges that are going on. It's just a different approach to how to, like you said, intercede or intervene and say, let's not focus on the negative thought patterns as much as we do what can help you boost yourself up, like what can help you thrive, right? What can help
right.
you achieve well-being? One of the things, I don't know if people have are familiar with this concept that I've really grabbed onto recently. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Heige, have you heard about that, Keilah? It's like, I think it comes
Uh,
from Denmark or something. It's like the creating environments or creating within yourself a feeling of comfort and coziness kind of thought.
yes.
And in those moments of stress, it really helps me. Really helps me.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull something over here so I could get it, but I don't think I'll be able to get that. So I'm just going to share the screen, and can you please explain to all of us on this, if you don't mind, um, the
Let's see what
PERMA?
we got. Let me
Like,
see. I'm gonna bring it up.
positive.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Let's see if I can do that on
I
here.
can't see it very well,
I'm
so I can try to bring it
trying
up
to
on
get.
mine.
Well,
I just
that
want to.
booted out the chat on me. So hang on. It's the positive here. Uh, the positive emotions, engagement, positive relationships, meaning, and accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get it to there. Let me stop sharing it.
There,
I
I got it.
will.
Yeah. No, no, I got it.
Oh, you got it.
I brought
Okay.
it up here. I just brought it up here on my phone, so I just could
Okay.
trigger that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the positive emotion obviously is the feeling of exactly that. It's what can help us feel in a better state of mind. So whether that's being more hopeful, um, feeling more confident, feeling more joy, and that obviously goes into it's attached to all these in a way because engagement is how much are we thoroughly, like, what are we doing to participate in our lives, and what are we doing to take action and kind of engage
Right.
in our well-being and what behaviors are doing. Relationships is obvious, and I know we've talked about this. Connection is
Yeah.
really important,
Yeah.
and
Connection is so important.
isolation is, there's a difference between wanting some alone time and isolation. Isolation is a very can be a very harmful place for people to be. And relationships and connections is part of positive psychology. And so relationship, it could be relationship to yourself, it can be relationship obviously with others, relationship with our animals, relationships with nature, relationship with you name it. I mean, there's lots of different meaningful relationships they have. Meaning, the M part is, and I work with a lot of, actually right now I'm working with a lot of folks that are like 55 and up in that retirement stage of life. And this comes up
Uh-huh.
so much in like existential therapy, which is what
Oh,
meaning and purpose, right? And in the absence of having that's something to go towards, is what gives person meaning. And that can change. That can change in life. Like you could start out having a certain direction or meaning that gives you that feels like it gives you meaning in your life and direction, and then it can change.
right.
And then accomplishment is going through and being able to see successes. And what I don't mean, necessarily financial or tangible, like tangible success. It can just be like something that you've accomplished within yourself, self growth, and that gives you a feeling of accomplishment and self confidence. So
Yeah, I
those
have
are in
been
a
on that
nutshell. I didn't want to. Yeah.
I've been on that journey. So that's
Mhm.
self-growth. Y'all, hey, y'all, please ask questions. I know I messed this up. I didn't send our mods the link. I finally got. I think it went through, but now nobody's here.
That's all right. We love the people that are here, and I'm sure this is an important topic that we'll talk about
Yes,
again, or they
please
can
ask
watch it on replay.
questions, please.
Yeah.
And for the replay crew, leave us questions in the comments, please.
Mhm. So we wanted to just talk about this, and
Kathy's here.
there she is.
Thank you, Kathy. Oh,
Um,
I, I have
yeah.
something for you. I
Mhm.
fixed it. I fixed it. I'm learning this. I'm learning this. Kathy is a tough love kind of learner. You have to learn it.
Marie,
Okay.
you said looking at what what you're already doing to make you feel better can empower you to take more control of your life. That's really true. Um,
Yes.
and it's almost like sometimes can shift the momentum, right? It can, like you're already doing things, and some people denigrate themselves and say, "Oh, no, I'm not doing that much." But when you really explore it, you say, "Wow, you know." Instead of isolating, let's say someone's depressed and they're isolating, instead of isolating, you like went to the store this week, and they say, "Oh, I just went to the store. I didn't do anything else." But you did that, and that's a step. So really
Absolutely.
acknowledging that accomplishment, acknowledging those successes.
Hey, Marie. I mean, absolutely it is because, like I told you before, Gretchen, like right now, I'm fighting. My ears are red. So you already know that I've already having visceral reactions to this anxiety, and I'm trying to keep it under control because I'm sick. But I mean, we have a freaking gonna be a cat 3 headed straight up my butt. I mean, it's literally we're in the cone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have weather anxiety. I have weather PTSD thanks to
Yeah.
losing everything twice,
Hmm.
and I've
I
lived here
know.
my whole life. But this Francine. I just remember her name. We're gonna go back for we're going for retaliation later on. Anyway, I'm having to make myself laugh. But
Brian,
I I brought hey Brian, hey
I
carry
carry
on.
on.
I brought that up. Is that
So
something?
yeah, I'll read that. Just because I don't want you to strain your voice too much here, Keilah.
Thank
Positive
you. Hey
psychology.
Blake.
Positive psychology is a scientific field that focuses on studying and understanding the strengths and virtues that enable individuals and communities to thrive. It shifts the traditional problem focused approach of psychology, emphasizing personal growth, resilience, and fostering positivity. And I really like that idea of, I mean, all three of those
Hey
fostering,
Katie.
hi, personal growth, resilience, and positivity instead of that problem focus. Like, what are your challenges?
That's what I was trying to say
Yeah,
earlier.
what's
That's okay.
happened
So there
this
you go.
week?
They can say it better than me.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's just saying that, like, and what are you doing already? And going back to Marie's point, what are you doing
Yeah.
already to help yourself? I mean, you're already doing stuff. You're already doing something. Um,
And you're
you
saying,
know,
like you said, to help yourself, yes, because we are all the learned helplessness. This actually teaches you to not be in that mindset of
right,
learned helplessness.
right. And then examples. Hi, Kate Delight. Um, Examples are like gratitude journaling, mindful. Well, I'll take it one by one if you don't mind.
Sure,
Gratitude journaling,
sure.
just briefly, like gratitude journaling is just that. But gratitude journaling, right? Just writing down what you're grateful for, and it does a couple things. One, I'm a big fan of journaling and writing things down because it gets things out of your head. Like I know you and I have talked about this. Um, we have memory kind of things for different reasons. I have brain fog, and so I still write out a good old fashioned grocery list. Like I'm like
Me too.
paper to I do pen to
Me
paper, and
too.
I'm like, let me write out, and I bust that thing out in the grocery store, and I'm
Well, try
looking
this,
down.
Gretchen. I walk out and leave it laid on the counter. That's how
Oh
bad
no,
it's
I've done that, but
got.
I'm not. I mean, for some things I use my phone, but for that I'm like I need to because it helps me remember. Because then as I'm
Yeah,
writing it, I remember. Even if I forget to look at the
exactly.
list, I'm like, oh, I wrote down, bread or whatever it is, and so I can.
Yeah.
But gratitude, Julie, is the same thing. It's like there's some process of just writing it down that is different. It's just for me, it's like physically writing it. Some people think that writing it like on typing it up is okay, and that's fine. But and it
Well,
also shows you what you have, right? Hey everyone, sorry I'm late.
he's
I went to the
accepted
gym
the
for the first time in
self-help.
2 years. Good job.
Good
I'm
job, Blake.
sure your body hates you, but your body loves you at the same time. So there you
Yes,
go.
that was a good
Good
job,
job.
Blake.
So yeah, grateful, grateful for Blake. Blake, I'm sure you're grateful for your body today that it was able to go to the gym and exercise, right? And your motivation and you know, your drive to do that today. And then mindfulness meditation. This is huge.
I love it. I practice it every day.
I
Every
don't
day.
I don't actually do like the silent meditation or even guided like where I'm sitting always. I do it a lot, like, when I'm in nature, I find, like, just looking, like,
Uh-huh.
walking my dog is an example of what I do is, like, I'm just walking the dog, and one of the dogs just sitting there sniffing the ground, and that's his mindfulness. I, like, look up at the trees, look at the wind, I notice butterflies and birds, that's kind of my time.
You're right, Marie. You're right on that. See, I just got a whole package in of all these cute little wait. I gotta figure this out. Oh yeah. All
I
my
do like
cute
that one.
little sparkly pins.
Nice.
Y'all, I have a
Um,
problem, okay, just to let you know when I'm sick and I'm not working at the add to cart is an issue. Kathy, I think I need to go to rehab for that again.
and the
Anyway,
cards.
just want to mark that down for later on.
I went to yesterday on a side note, I went to like where was it? Like Home Goods and TJ Maxx and those sorts. I'm kind of remodeling my office, right? I was needed to
Yeah,
find some things and there's some cool finds there. But man, it's just you spend too long there and that's trouble too. Cause it's like, oh, all these like interesting things that I never thought I needed and I probably don't. But um
but go
so
ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
no, no. So let's just go through these. So strength-based counseling, that one, like I just described, is just more
Yeah,
focused on leveraging your strengths to help you um, move through some of the challenges that you may have. So, for instance, I work with some people that are super, like, let's say type A, and they're planners. So let's use
right.
that strength. Let's use that strength to help them to
I meet them
overcome
where they
something.
are. That's right. I
Yeah,
meet them where they are and then try to bring them further, but I want them to get there with positivity, not the negative and maladaptive.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I do work with all of the behaviors. So, but
right.
I, that is what I use with them for to, like I told them, the only thing you need to be better than is who you were yesterday.
Hmm.
Tomorrow, be better than who you were today. And you take it one day at a time. Just do the next right thing that's on the wall in my office.
Yeah. And if it's not the best day or you don't feel like you did
It's
that, it's
okay.
okay. Giving
It's
yourself some
okay.
grace and moving on.
Mhm. That's it.
So
I mean,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. And strength-based counseling is that, and it's also validation. I think the therapist in that sense would do a lot of validation of what, and offering them the opportunity to really embrace and accept, like you said, who they are, and not trying to change the uniqueness of who they are, but embracing it, like you said, and just using those unique strengths that they have, um, to help them move forward in certain areas where they might have more challenges. Positive affirmations, um,
Okay.
exactly that,
I have
right?
show and tell. I have
You
show
have
and
show
tell.
and tell. Oh, here we go. See, Keilah's up with her show and tell today. I love this.
I had to do stuff to get my mind off everything. Okay, I don't want this hurricane coming at me. I'm just I'm using my tools. Another add to cart. Sorry.
Another add to cart. Keilah.
My bag's
At the
full.
end, I think we might need a intervention for Keilah's.
My bag's full. So I got the little affirmation cards. Now the ones that I have for my employees are affirmations that have little cuss words on it because they're funny. It was sometimes everybody needs a good kick in the AWS, so it's on a little can, but these are not. These are like life always offers you a second chance. It's called tomorrow. I mean, they're just little bitty, and they're like little signs. They're so cute.
Yeah,
But they're motivational. I don't know if you can see it.
a little bit.
My
Yeah.
my
Never
life
what?
is you. If you never try, you'll never know.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. This one is me right now. Sometimes silence is a really good answer.
Yeah. That is.
Blake, the first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you're not going to stay where you are. That's called change.
Yeah. Oh,
So that's just
that's a whole nother thing that we could do, huh? Change.
yes, change. Yes.
Change
The best
behavior,
way.
stages of change, the whole deal.
That's a good one. Where's your notebook, Gretchen?
I don't have a paper and pen right now, but I'll make it.
Yeah,
I can put it down in here on my phone.
I got my pad right here. The best
Okay.
way to predict the future is to create it. That's
Okay. And
yeah. Be
that
your
that
own
has the
hero.
hey,
Be your
that
own
one I
hero.
was gonna say that has an underlying assumption going along with positive psychology that you do have an impact, like you have some
Yes.
effect on your future. So we have to go along with that assumption.
Yes. That's like be your own hero. Learn helplessness.
Yep.
Do more of what makes you happy. The start is what stops most people.
Ah,
I mean, there's so many things in here. They're so cute. Don't make me walk when I want to fly. Yeah. Nobody said it was easy. It's just there's so many of them, but I had to have a show and tell. Okay.
I love that. Yeah. So positive affirmations are important.
Yeah.
Um,
I will
flow.
tell you this though, Gretchen, on
Yeah, go ahead.
positive affirmations, if it's okay.
Yeah.
I do go over, and I tell everybody this, including myself. Go to the bathroom every morning when you wake up and look in the mirror and say, "I love you." And you're going to think you're about the most craziest person in the world. And I don't use that C word, but I'm just going to say it. I thought I was crazy, crazy, crazy. And then because I really, I honestly did not have much of an esteem, and, but I did this because my therapist told me to start. And I did. And I put in 100% what she tells me to do. And it got easier. And then, oh, hey, Max, journaling, it's not a big focus. It's just, it
Part of it.
clears things out. So you
Yeah.
can put it on paper. But anyway, so I've told myself I did that every morning. And then I started, it wasn't so hard to do it. I wasn't like just going, glad nobody's hearing me do this. It was easier to say, I love you. And then now I don't even have to go to the mirror. I love me.
Mm-hmm.
I love myself because if I can't love myself, I can't love you. And that's just the way it is.
Right.
You
Right.
have to know what love is to give it away.
Yeah. That's true.
So that's just a positive affirmation that I tell some of my patients that have such a bad self-esteem. I tell them, do that every morning. I want it, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna walk in there and watch you do it. I mean, they know I joke around with them like that, but I want them to do it. I mean, I felt stupid doing it, but it worked.
And it's interesting working within some different cultural backgrounds because like the thought of like even like self-esteem or feeling good about yourself or is almost what's the word I'm looking for? Almost shunned a bit. Um, not that it's more like humility and
Oh yeah,
not standing out and not, because if you think too highly of yourself, that it will be, I don't know, somehow, it basically, it's just not thought of highly, like to do that. And I think there is a good balance there between, it's not like that you're just creating a groundedness and a centeredness to say, you know what, I can care about myself just as much as I care about
that's right. It's
others.
self-care. It's just to make me respect myself like I do everyone else. Like because we're always the last ones to take care of ourselves and self-care. But if you respect yourself and love yourself just as much. Okay, so I'm going to take Kathy Ann and use her. So Kathy Ann, she knows how much I love that her. I can't even, words can't describe it. I would never stand for anybody to be disrespectful to her. Not I'm. No. And I'm going to stand up for her because I love her. But if I don't know how that in me feels, like I need to know what love is. I need to make sure that I love myself so I have self-care, so I have the strength to stand up when she needs me. Vice versa. I think I need her more than she needs me a lot, but you know, I don't know if I'm getting it out right, y'all. I'm foggy, but it's just
And
the
maybe
thought of.
that's, you're saying maybe you think that you need her more than she needs you. And maybe that's you minimizing how important you are to her, in a sense too. Like,
Oh, I'm being psychoanalyzed.
I knew it was going to go that route. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
No, I don't care. I don't care.
sometimes we do that, right? We'll say like, oh, we might minimize our importance in someone else's life, right? Um,
She's so important in my life. She is.
but I mean, our effect on them. So,
Max wants to know about this.
yeah. Why is journaling a big focus in positive psychology? You're saying, I think if you're asking about positive psychology in general, I think it's a part of that awareness, and then just especially with gratitude journaling, they're focusing on. So
Yeah.
focusing on what what you have, what you're grateful for. In other words, what you're um, looking at it. If you're grateful for something, that you're appreciating it, right? That it's something that's positive in your life. And so in line with positive psychology, that makes sense. It's saying, okay, like I could say, I'm really grateful for my dog today, or I'm grateful for the fact that I have legs that can work and that can walk, or that I have a brain that can think, or for my body in general, um, or that, whatever else, my family. So those are some things that are gratitude. So it's more on the positive line of being thankful and being aware of those positives. Katie Light, I do a list I do lists and lists and lists, but I'm unable to journal. I don't understand why. You know what? I often say, and I've said this before, people might disagree with me, but journaling doesn't have to necessarily follow a specific format.
No. I
If
do it on my phone, y'all.
Yeah, if like whatever it's, even if it's not, I mean, if it just, in other words, I think people have a mindset of maybe how journaling is supposed to go, and we don't have to call it journaling. We just call it like, you know, getting down emotions or feelings. If you want to list, if you like doing lists and you just want to write a list of things that goals you have, or things that, even just a list instead of journaling, just a list of gratitudes, or um, a few positive things that happened today. I think when we were talking to Mandy the other day, she said, I liked her question about what made you smile today, or what has made you smiled recently, right? I really like
Yes,
that question. So it kind of
I did
switches the
too.
focus. Yeah. I was kind of taken off guard by it actually at first. Not taken off guard, but just like pleasantly surprised by it. I was like, oh, okay, let me think about this. Makes you reflect on that, which is neat.
I
Uh,
had to move my light. I couldn't see the screen. So if it's too
okay.
dark, I hope it'll fix. My
Flow,
AI is not on for some
yeah,
reason.
flow experiences are the sense of like being more fully embracing the experience. So really just getting, as they call
Yeah.
it now, like locked in or in the zone, kind of getting fully immersed in it. Um,
Yeah.
and by
Uh,
doing that, you can really just, you know, get a sense of really just, I think that's how people can thoroughly just feel and enjoy and get a sense of mindfulness in a way too. Is it positive too high of self-esteem? Um,
okay, so
I'll
there's
take
that
this
one, but
one.
let me put Marie's right behind
Yeah.
it.
There's a difference between knowing you're worthy of respect and being boastful. Sure. Um, what do you think about that, Keilah? Is it possible to have too high of self-esteem?
Okay, so my thoughts on that are if you love yourself, okay, so anything can be too much and too less, like the extremes. I always say there's everything. Example is all I could give you as an example. I have one of my patients. She uses hate, love for everything. I said there is a middle here, there's a gray area. You don't like so and so food, but you don't hate it. It's never done anything to you to make you hate it. You just don't like it.
Hmm.
So I try to, well, I do get her to start using those terms. And then, but she loves everything. No, doesn't mean that you love this. You might like this, but you can't possibly love everything, but then hate everything. So the way I can answer that question is I believe that you can your self-esteem, as long as you are confident, you're positive and you're not got this, you don't put off this air of meanness. If it becomes mean and arrogant, then I believe that's probably to the extreme.
Hmm.
Besides that, I don't think. I mean, you're only here once. This is your only self. I mean, love yourself. Have self esteem. I mean, it's worth. You're worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that helped at all, but
No, I think that's a good response to it. There is a continuum of it, but it's when it's like you said, when it gets to a point where it's self-esteem that needs, like there's a difference between self-esteem and self-ego, and needing
yes,
for people to like to feed that ego and to do things, in other words, externally to others, interact with others in a certain way to
yeah,
promote your self-esteem. So the self-esteem should come from within, and ideally, it would be something that you'd feel within yourself, and that would be enough,
yeah,
right? That you
yes.
could,
Instead of you shouldn't have to grab that from if you're getting someone else to feed your self-esteem, that's something totally different. That's not self-esteem to me. That's we're going into fuel for other things that just keep going and going.
all right. And there's different ways that can play out, but sure, there's that. Um, Life crafting, it's kind of specific to positive psychology. Something that helps people find meaning and purpose in their life. What happens is the process of shaping their lives or creating, cultivating their lives to align with their values and goals. And actually, I do this a lot with people. Especially, I use this a lot with people with chronic illness, chronic pain issues, because I'll say, your energy might be limited, your pain might be high, your fatigue might be high, um, you might have limited physical resources. But if you do three things in a day, if you have the energy to do three different activities in a day, let's say, or one, whatever it is, three, let's say,
Yeah.
what do you want those to be and why? And what are those currently? So if someone says, well, family is really important to me, then one of those activities probably should be focused on family. Like if you take your three priorities, to the top priorities right now, and what you do in a day, do those two things align? Your values and goals in life, and then your behaviors, your activities during the day. So that's kind of life crafting. It's creating that meaning and purpose through aligning those two things. Your activity is, what you're doing, and your values and goals. So that's kind of life crafting. Well-being therapy, kind of self-explanatory, and humor laughter therapy. Kathy Ann said this earlier. Laughter can be a great healing source, just a source of healing.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I have one. Okay, are we through with this one? Or no? On this, I mean, we got to the bottom, right?
yeah.
Okay. I was looking for something for a question for somebody else. Katie.
Okay.
Katie, I'm gonna let you have this one. I'm looking
Yeah.
for something for her.
Sure. Katie, what do you do when you have absolutely no self-esteem, when you physically can't believe that you're worth loving? Well,
I have a bunch of stuff, but I'm gonna.
okay. That So I think Max just responded to that too. But
Okay,
yeah,
that's it. That's this one. Yeah.
it's having, he says, having people you hang around with and shared interests, nurture little feelings. Yeah, I think just being true to, like we talked about earlier, being true to who, like yourself at this point. And I mean, someone who is in that situation, like if it's you, if it's someone else, just say, okay, I'm here right now. This is where I'm at. And kind of identifying like what's going on that's making me feel bad. Why do I feel unworthy, not worth loving? And sometimes we have to identify whose message is that. Is it us telling ourselves that, or is it someone from the past? Like maybe a parent or someone in their life, previous partner had said things that made them feel bad about themselves, and that got them to that point. So really identifying that, and then challenging and saying, and then also part of that is reality testing and saying,
But Katie, you were
there's,
in
yeah, go ahead.
you're an ex, right? I mean, you were in Scientology, or are you out? I mean, are you an ex? Almost positive, and that's gonna have an effect on my answer.
Yeah, I mean, if it's, yeah, if it's coming out of a cult type situation, there is
Yes,
no,
she's
um,
exing out. Yeah, I know,
yeah,
Katie. I did not forget you. I did not forget
okay.
you. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can speak to that too, Keilah, but just that
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
there's a dehumanizing part of that, right, in cult behavior, which is
Yeah.
anything that separates you as unique and individual and special is very much, and you can speak to this, Katie, if you want, but is very much quelled and suppressed because they want everyone to be in more of this group think, group, um, right? I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of just uniformity of behaviors. They make it's like
Your humanity is just audited
that.
out of her.
Uh-huh.
So I do understand that. You have, but you know what, Katie? I'm going to say this. You have to take the first step. That's the hardest.
Yep.
If you take that first step, I mean, you've already taken the first step. Obviously, you're out. Congratulations, my dear. But there's so many things that you can do on a daily basis. And if you like to make lists, here, if it's to show you one, I think it might help. Maybe. If it doesn't, it's okay too. But if it does, then I'm going to be glad. So, oh, wait, that's the wrong page. Hang on.
So another thing is sometimes, depending on how long you've been in or if you were born in,
Yeah, Katie,
you may
can you
not
tell
you
us?
may have not had many opportunities to explore what you are, what you enjoy, what your interests are. Going back to Max, was saying the interests, maybe exploring that as a first thing, like taking some time to get to know yourself and what you like, you
Can't
know.
pull this up. Trying to zoom. I don't know. It won't blow up.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I have these two big, huge screens now, and I'm not learning. I'm trying to
Let me see if I
learn.
can see it. It's hard for me to see it.
Katie, can you lost your
Get up
soulmate?
and get
Is that what
moving.
it's over? Yeah.
Encourage yourself. Challenge yourself.
Write
Have
down your
fun.
goals. Yeah. It says, write down your goals. And these are just, hey, Alicia, Katie, these are just some things. Look, I'm going to read out. These are just like, it says 10, but I think it's 15. Write down your goals. You like to make lists. So incorporate that into, something positive. Focus on yourself. It's okay to do that. And I know that that is not what you've been taught.
And I'm sorry what you're dealing with. You said you lost your soulmate. He
Yeah.
self-deleted. That's a painful. I know that's so painful. I'm sorry for your loss because
Yeah.
it's hard. And I hear you can't get over it. It's not, that grief is something else. It's can be heavy thing. And, it doesn't, yeah, 5 years, it doesn't matter. It's still, I'm sure,
No,
very painful.
more asked me, I'll be 24. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how many years go by.
So I'm sorry that I can, I don't know what to say, but it's really,
set time,
again, yeah,
set time for yourself. Set time aside for yourself. In this today and age, I would say that's impossible. My therapist would turn around and tell me, you're going to do it.
and if you don't
And
plan, by the way, Keilah, if you don't, like we say, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, right?
right,
So
that's
sometimes
right.
that putting that in there, like scheduling it in and saying, I'm going to do this.
On my
Because
calendar, on my clock.
and everything's going to come up and it's just going to like
It's never
disappear.
going to change. It's just chaos. It's a
Yeah.
merry-go-round that you never get off of. The only way to get off that merry-go-round is to get off of it and jump. Be kind to yourself. That's another thing. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm so stupid," or "Oh, I can't do this," pause and say, just turn that negative into a positive. Just be kind to yourself. Don't compare yourself with other people. You're an individual now. I know that you weren't raised that way, Katie, but you are an individual, and embrace that. Embrace all of that around you. Develop new skills. Surround yourself with positivity. Get up and moving and exercise.
Yeah.
Release the happy endorphins. You know, it's horrible what you're going through, but be grateful for small, tiny steps, and those lead to bigger steps. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. And one other thing I was just going to mention, if someone feels like their self-esteem is non-existent or in the dumps, sometimes we have to look at what, you know, maybe we can't identify
Head
that
down there.
maybe we can't identify that for ourselves in the moment. Then you think about the people around you, who you trust, who you care about,
Yeah.
who care about you. What would they say about you? How would they care? Like, what would they say about some of your qualities? And starting there. I mean, and again, not to define ourselves by other people around us, but sometimes they can be a good mirror for you, if they're good support people in your life and say, well, you're very funny, or, you're always there. You're always, have a good thoughts about things or good advice kind of thing, whatever it is. I want to say hi to a few folks here.
Go ahead. I'm just gonna try to drag this down
We
for
have Heather Mack. Hi, I'm Heather. And Miss Sunrise Dawn. Hope you're feeling okay. And your kitty cats. I was talking to on our chat on for the mods and everything. I swear my dog is like half cat. I know Miss Sunrise Dawn has like I don't know how many cats do you have, 14? It's 12, 14? A dozen, a baker's dozen. But my dog sleeps all the time. He's like mostly pug, and I'm like, I swear he's a cat. He likes to sit in the sun. Oh my gosh. It's so cute to see their personalities. um, so any questions or any comments? I know we have some people here talking to each other, which is cool.
Yeah, Heather, hi. I didn't miss you. I saw you. Sorry, I wasn't trying to. Hey,
Hey,
Bella.
Belle, now it's.
Oh, Marie. And Kate, I'll tell you this. Maybe you may have to go through that grieving process before you can get to where you can have self-esteem again or feel like you have it. I don't know, but you may. This is just a shot in the dark guess for anybody that if that's been that soon. And I mean, I would ask myself these questions: Have I grieved? Have I went through all the stages of grief, and have I come back and forth, which is what we all do? Um, have I accomplished that part of the grief? Have I come to acceptance? That has a lot to do with self-esteem also.
And I think the more experiences that we have, going back to the positive psychology about accomplishment and going forth and really recognizing
Yes.
ourselves and our abilities, not to say that we're always not, I say recognize our accomplishments, not to say that we are accomplishments, but also there's some traits or something that's there, right? So so you might say, like, for instance, using Blake's example about going to the gym, it's like you go to the gym and now all of a sudden you realize, hey, my body is wiped. I haven't been to the gym, but you know what? I'm proud of myself for just going and getting there. Or I'm really proud of myself for just, I'm really happy that, I enjoyed it or I like it. Or maybe I understand that I want to be more active, and that's kind of a cool part of me that I enjoyed that and I want to continue it. So through those experiences and fully like embracing them, you get to know more about yourself too.
Yeah, see, I'm not a gym person. I actually had my physical therapist come here. I just ended this last week was my last week of my physical therapist is coming. I have to do it on my own now because it's been 9 months. But which is no big deal. I do it anyway, but I do it at home, and I know that a lot of people say, get out of your environment to do something. Go somewhere different. And my therapist tells me that all the time, to go somewhere different to do exercises. Don't do. But then I'm like, okay. She said, I don't want to hear a but. But it is true that social anxiety will hinder you from having anything positive outside that door. But if I can drive to that grocery store and I can take a step out and I can touch the door and I can walk back to my car, I've accomplished something that day. That's, I just build and build and build until I can do it. And so,
Yeah.
and yes, loss of a loved one. Boy, that's so much today. I hope tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's um sorry, I got everyone started on sleep now. Too.
I know.
My dog is sitting here like Brian says, jealous, kind of like envious of the dogs. I think if I came back, if there is such a thing as another life, I think it would be nice to come back as like a pampered dog or a pampered animal.
Oh,
That would
your
be
dog
nice.
definitely have no life goals. Sleep.
um,
So sweet. So sweet.
oh my gosh, yeah, we love our animals, don't we? And
Oh my
that's
gosh.
something. I mean, that contributes to well-being, and that's part of positive psychology too. I mean, you could say, um, that's a wonderful thing, and I wish. Uh, animals, and that's why they have so many programs now with equine therapy, pet therapy, all those things,
Yes.
because
Yes. Yes. Yes.
it definitely contributes to feelings of just well-being and that connection we are talking about earlier, like just feeling connected um, to another being, which is wonderful.
I don't like the way these lights are blinking, but
Okay.
um, I
Any
was
starting point suggestions, bell notes? Let's see, just looking back at your, I have the inability to focus on one thing and be quiet by myself. Any starting point suggestions? Without knowing a lot more about that, I would say, I mean, you obviously always want to rule out like if there's anything medically going on, or otherwise, or if you notice patterns with certain things like environments or situations where you can't focus or be quiet by yourself. Um, I would say just again, I think people force sometimes these things too much. And in line again with the thoughts of positive psychology, it's just meeting yourself where you're at and saying, okay, it's okay if I can't focus in this moment. Um, I'm going to try the best I can to be as dialed in as I can, but I recognize that I might lose focus on occasion and I might just have to redirect myself. So again, that kind of, I think of it like, um, there's a couple different examples. Like they used to call it like the finger trap device, where you put your fingers in, you
I
pull.
cannot. No, I do not do them. I can't get them out.
So you pull, the more you pull, the
I
more the
know.
force is, right? Your fingers get
I
caught. So
can't get them
it's
out.
like the same thing people say about meditation or being quiet or being able to focus. It's like, come on, focus, come on, quiet, come on, just do it. And it's almost like the more you pull at it, the more you try to do it, it's harder to do. So just kind of relaxing into it and just saying, okay. And you might want to try like if you're thinking, if I don't know if you're thinking about like meditation or something along those lines, but if you just want to be quiet and have quiet time, just start like small. I would say would be my suggestion. Maybe like a handful of minutes or 30 seconds even, or whatever you can do. Some people just like environment helps. Like I said earlier, I like to be more meditative outside. That helps me. So maybe just trial and error might help.
Oh, wait, Mac. Wait, I was reading Max. And then she found on top of law people were having fun tax lawyers. So she went back to school, got a second law degree. Oh my gosh. No, we are not, Katie. We are not. I have a company to run, and it's right in the middle of hurricane season. And unfortunately, I'm already waiting on a hurricane to come hit me in a few days, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So I'm the CEO and I have to be there. I have to be there. I'm responsible for all of their lives. So, yeah, I'm not going to get to go this year.
And I'm not going either. It just didn't work out, and I have family visiting and such. So the time doesn't, is,
Donuts. I was going to, okay, that any
uh-huh.
starting point suggestions. That's where I went. I was trying to go back up and look.
Yeah,
Okay. So, I
that's the one I
have
was just talking about. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was just trying to find her original question. Loss of a loved one was the trauma. Oh, well, can we start? I was kidding. I'm trying to laugh. Okay, guys. Tomorrow is
Yeah.
24 years
No,
since I
I
lost
know.
my dad. So,
Yeah.
and it doesn't get easier. I don't care what they say.
I
Time
think,
just helps you make it through it. It doesn't help you get over it. You never do.
Keilah, if I'm going to I send you something on text if you want to bring it up on the
Sure.
screen, or email, what works better?
Email, bring it up on the screen.
Okay. So I'll just send this to you. It's something to kind of, I'm a visual person, so it helps me kind of visualize grief and loss.
But
You probably are familiar with it. Yeah.
while she's sending me this, I'm gonna tell you the way I did is okay. So it's breathe in, breathe out. You made it. This is literally what I've done. Breathe in, breathe out. You made it. It's an accomplishment. Okay, then you'll go on and you'll notice that you've got a minute goes by, and you'll think, I made it. Then pretty soon after that, it's going to be 10 minutes. It's going to be 30 minutes, and it'll be an hour, and you're not focusing on such of the the trauma. And then you go, "Oh, this is what I did." And I just breathe in, breathe out. I made it. I mean, that's so I had to keep telling myself. And do you know that after so long of that, then you're breathing in and out, and the whole day's went by. So then you think back, well, what did I do today? You did something. You made it. So
Mhm.
I mean, it sounds so simply stupid that it is easy, but that is how I survived all of this, and just took it one breath at a time, which is probably why I like mindfulness so much and find it very, very useful because I could just sit in my office, close my eyes, and breathe. I'll set my timer for a minute. I'll tell SIRI to do it for a minute, and then that's it was just little tiny baby steps. I'm going.
Yeah.
Where's my mail?
I sent it to your, not the mental health matters, but the other one.
Oh, because the regular one? Okay.
Yeah, and it's the first image when you check on
Okay.
the link. It's right under where it says my grief something.
Okay. Yeah, I found it here. Okay. Gmail. Uh, got it. Okay. The first one, let's see.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a lot of loss, and so sometimes we think about
Um,
loss. Yeah,
which one did you want me to say? Which one? I mean, it's just one thing.
yep.
You share that
Well,
page?
yeah, and it's at the top of the page. So you should be able to see it. The image, you see it.
Yes.
You can zoom in if you can, and then it's just a simple image, but it helps me. I think one of the books I always recommend is the book. I forgot the author's name. I think Divine.
Yeah.
It's okay that you're not okay. It's a really good
Oh,
book.
yes.
I found,
Yes,
at least
it is.
personally, for loss, grief, and loss.
Yes.
Kind of
I
normalizing
really
that.
like this. I really like this. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay. So this just right here, because that's all it'll let me zoom. Because I have a big old I have a big screen. Is that, do you see it backstage?
Let me
Is
see.
that where, look down there where,
Backstage. I'm like, where is it?
is that, I can move it over. I mean, I can scroll
Where
up.
do I look? At
Where you're
present?
sitting at the bottom, right here,
Let's see. That's
the
okay.
middle between you and you.
That's okay. You can share it. Yeah, go ahead.
That's it? Okay. I just want to make sure I had that right because
This
I
one.
know I don't know why it's not blowing up on here, and maybe this
Is it?
reason.
Well,
I don't know.
so won't you can't see the bottom one? Like there's
Oh,
two
yeah, I
rows.
can scroll up. No, I
Oh,
can
okay.
scroll up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What did you
yeah,
want me to
just that
do?
part. Those 6
Right
jars.
there. Oh, okay. Okay. There
Yeah.
you go.
So it says people tend to believe that grief shrinks over time. So obviously you can see the jar is the same size, but the ball, which represents grief, is getting smaller, or the loss. Um, what really happens is that we grow around our grief.
Oh my
So
God. I love
so the
that.
ball is, it's self-explanatory, but the ball is the same, and then the jar grows. And I
Oh,
think that's
wow.
true. It's we've all probably, I think a lot of people have had this experience, and I have too, and I know Keilah has. It's like when you have that initial shock of a loss, it's just so all encompassing in your life. And like things, I know for me, it was like things slowed down, and it was like, what is going on? It felt so surreal, and it was just all encompassing every part of life. And it was like, affects so many areas of life. And then slowly but surely you get, it's not that it changes, but it just, other parts of life you start to explore and you start to be okay with more so. Um, so that's, I show this a lot when I'm working with clients with grief and loss, because I want to normalize the fact that if people feel like they're quote unquote stuck in their grief, or they feel like they use the should statement, right? Like they should get over their grief. And it's like, no, there's no expectation here. There's, like Keilah said, it could be 20. Thank you. That is, I mean, I love this visual and I found it.
Yeah,
And
me too.
yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's
So
really,
many of
I
you
really like it.
it resonates with you, and it does with me too. It just, um, and it's okay that, I mean, that ball stays the same. It's not. And that's what the book kind of describes. It's like oftentimes there's two ways that people think about in our society grief, which is, okay, you have 3 days of bereavement for work. Then you're expected to get back to work and just compartmentalize and just get over it. Or if you hold on, if you quote, hold on to the grief and you're still grieving after a certain prescribed period of time, it's like people think that something is up with you. Like, why are you still grieving? And that doesn't necessarily the case. I mean, you can live, you can live and grieve at the same time, and that's okay.
And that you can. And you're going to go in and out and in and out and in and out. I mean, hey, Tammy. I mean, there's no set time. Wait, what did, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sick. I can't think. Uh, I have the freaking quote. Was it Kennedy? I think it was, or Eleanor Roosevelt or Kennedy or somebody said, grief has no time clock. I'm gonna have to pull it up because I feel so stupid. I can't think straight. But I actually have it posted on my wall in my office. But I'm at home office. Let me find
Hi,
it.
Tammy. I love it.
Oh, love it.
Elusive 16 Under. You know, I don't think I've read, I don't think I've seen that show, and I should. There's also something, and I feel very strongly about this. I don't think death and grieving is talked about enough in our society, but someone was telling me, a neighbor was telling me, there's you guys might know about it in chat. It's like, is it called After Death or it's on Netflix, maybe, I want to say. It's people describing,
Oh, I've been watching it. Near death
like,
experiences.
well, it's like people describing, yeah, like near death experiences where they have an experience and then they come back and kind of what they experience.
I've been watching that. I got it on pause on my Netflix.
All right, love it. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
Thank you for the suggestion.
It's really powerful. It's really powerful. Okay, why can't I find this quote? Yeah, there's everything. I mean, it's everything in it, but it doesn't really give it's grief. There's so many quotes on grief, but that's not the one I was looking for. I was looking for the one that has no time limit. And
I'm so sorry for your loss too, Tammy. It says, I've been grieving my son because of his addiction. Yeah, and some grieving is living grieving, and some grieving is loss grieving. I'm not sure. It sounds like he's still alive, but yeah, it's I've known people that have had to almost say goodbye to some of their loved ones because they could no longer involve themselves with they realized it was beyond what they could do with a family member that had it really involved with their addiction, really consumed by it.
yeah, I'm trying to do Keilah's going to stop saying trying because that is like the worst thing I do. I don't like it. I got to stop saying that. I don't know what's made me start back into that. But it was somebody famous, and I have it, but I don't have it here. But it's just like time does not. It's about time. About grief does not have a time limit. It might lessen over time, but it will always be with you. Stages or phases that one might go through. But yeah, I will find it one day and put it up there, and somebody will believe me that I actually know what I'm talking about. But it's like it doesn't heal all wounds. It just teaches you it just toughens it up. The hole left there, it just toughens it up for you to make it through the rest of your life. But you really never stop grieving. And I know that it starts out with time heals all wounds is not true or something like that. It's somebody famous that said it, and I know that somebody in that chat can make me not look like a total pneumonia-ridden person here.
We're gonna give you some grace today because that's
Please
okay.
give me
You're
some
sick.
grace. Really, my brain won't work. I did have some starred ones real quick. I didn't want to miss. So,
Yeah, go ahead. And
um,
then we might, I think we might wrap soon. I mean, like a little bit earlier, right, Keilah? Because we're both kind of, you have some storms coming through. I have wildfires close to me, which I don't know what that's
we
going on.
both shouldn't even be here. I mean, literally, she's got fire. She can smell the smoke. She's
I
got
can still
fire,
smell
and
some
I've got
ashtray
water.
outside. Yeah, yeah, I'm in Southern
You want some of my
California.
water your way, Gretchen?
Yeah, right. I think we need to exchange. But Kathy, we talk about the task versus chore issue. She like not just herself. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I don't like that. It won't. Okay, I'm sorry. It would not. I think it won't fix.
Marie, would doing something like mindful coloring help with meditation? Sure. Something to quiet your mind, mind first, then doing the meditation. Yeah, and like I said, everyone has their own, like,
I
there's all different
think
styles of meditation. There's guided meditation, there's quiet meditation, there's something called walking meditation. So of course, if mindful coloring, if people want to put, like, if someone wants to put a music on that they like and just kind of zone in, kind of that idea of that flow experience they're talking about, also in positive psychology, where you're kind of locked in, zoned in. That's a type of meditative.
so, Marie. There's no right or wrong way
Yeah,
for the mindful for meditation or mindfulness. Literally, there's you don't have to be in this room filled, with this
yeah,
mat and all this. The reason they use mindfulness is because what is the one thing that you always carry with you? Your breath. I mean,
mhm,
you don't have to carry a yoga mat. You don't have to carry these books or that book, but you always carry your breath. And
yeah.
so uh, that's where the mindfulness started from because you always carry your breath. Well, there's no right or wrong way to do that. And
And I don't
so,
and I don't know if that was in response to Bell Notes, her
yeah,
idea about
about her,
quote,
about the
quieting
mindfulness
down.
and the
Yeah,
meditation.
but
So what I do to quiet down, like, okay, say I've got two patients that are in total, they're just misbehaving. It's nothing to do with their mental illness because mental illness is no excuse for bad behavior, but it is their behavior. Okay, so and I've just got through breaking them up, gotten them settled, listening to them. Well, me as an empath, all that comes in. I feel it all. Everything each one of them's feeling. Then I have to leave. So I go back to my office. I close the door and I sit. And I just sit and I actually literally just I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'll just stare. So and I also have like 3 or 4 sand clocks on my desk. Or I'll pop one over. And I'll just sit there and I'll just breathe and I'll just enjoy the quiet for just a second. Sometimes I close my eyes, sometimes I don't.
yeah.
Sometimes I'm walking and I do mindfulness by noticing things around. It's just there's no right or wrong way.
Um, yeah, there is no right or wrong way. It's just the way that works for you. Miss Sunrise Dawn, I'm waiting on my doctor to refer me to a sleep doctor so I can have a sleep study done. I need to do that too, actually, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I'm pretty sure I have sleep apnea and I haven't. You're too quick for me here. Can you
Oh, I'm
bring it up?
sorry.
No, that's okay. Can you bring it up again?
Yeah, which one?
The one we just had up, Miss
Oh,
Sunrise
yeah,
Dawn.
sure. Uh,
Okay,
I did not. Come on.
that's okay.
I
I
know
think
her should. No, it's right here. Hers should be easy because she's highlighted right there. Got it.
okay. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have sleep apnea, and I haven't been sleeping much lately because of it. It's miserable. Yeah, sleep is so important, and we don't. Yeah, that's tough. And I hope you get some answers soon. Um, is Brian? I wonder if Brian is still here.
Brian, are you in here, honey?
Say hi if you are.
Brian, Garland,
You probably.
Brian.
I'm putting him on the spot now. Um,
Oh, he's
are we
good.
done? Are we done with?
Hey, Violet.
Are
Let's
we
see.
done with the comments or the questions for now?
Uh,
I had
everybody's just actually talking. Brian's here.
okay. Um,
Hydration. Hey, you'll be proud of me, Sophia. She gets on me now. Look, maybe they'll
yeah, there you go.
sponsor
Can I read? Can I read a poem from a poet? I'm going to read a poem if I could. You've probably heard this one. It goes along, I think, with both what we're talking about and grief and loss. So, Keilah, get your tissues.
Oh, go ahead. My eyes have been pouring already.
Have you heard the Dash? That poem? I don't know if you have.
Yeah.
The Dash
Do you
by
have a
Linda
date?
Ellis.
The two dates and the dash. The two dates
Yeah.
and the dash. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Please read it.
All right, I'll read it, and then whatever we want to do, if we want to. But The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth, and spoke the following dates with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love, and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what is true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remember this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
I love that. I love it.
So
I always think about that, the dash. Absolutely. No, I really do love that. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. But
if anyone watches his, he does snap, snap, snap.
I have more. I have more show and tell real quick if you're okay with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did. Never mind. Let's just show and tell. It's not wrong. I don't even know what all of these are. I have it just now open. So I got
Love It. Sorry, Love It. I did not write it. It's by Linda Ellis, I think is her name. Let me just double check. Yes, Linda Ellis is the poet.
And tomorrow I'm going to do everything in my power to focus on my daddy's dash.
Yes.
Me being one of the things.
There you go.
But
I love that.
I've got let me turn this light. Yeah. I got that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting that in my office at work. The 7 Rules of Life. And I really like this one too. So
7 Rules of Life.
Yeah, it just says, let it go, make peace with your past so it doesn't control your future. Ignore them, ignore people who bring you down, spend time around people who lift you up. Give it time. Time heals almost everything. Don't compare your life to journeys. To others. Everyone's on a different journey. Stay calm. It's okay not to know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it. It's on you. No one is in charge of your happiness except you. And smile. Life is short. Enjoy it while you have it. Then I have my little things you can't control and things you can control. And that is so true. I mean, these are just, that one's just a little too deep, maybe. body, positive affirmations. And then an apology sounds like I am sorry for, it just gives examples. And then all feelings matter. I love it. The buggies. Oh. Hey, Kathy. Yes, it was Rose Kennedy. Thank you. I know I was. Sees your brain, knows what I'm trying to find. It just won't get there. Thank you, Kathy. It was Rose Kennedy. That's what I thought. And then the anxiety iceberg.
There you go.
That one is that.
Where'd you get those?
I ordered them from Amazon. I will send you the link. Anxiety coping statements. I am safe and I will be okay. I can move forward even when I feel anxious.
Cool.
Yeah, I really, and then you get, but there's some that I didn't show but then like this one, cognitive distortions. There's a lot of that gets really deep into it. The mental filter, the emotional reasoning, black and white thinking, catastrophizing. I finally can say that word.
Yeah.
And then the anger volcano that, and then, but before you speak, think. And it says, let me come back out. There you go. Can you see it at all?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Before you think, speak. T, is it true? H, is it helpful? I, is it inspiring? It, is it necessary? And K, is it kind?
Mm-hmm.
I really, really love these, and I got them. And
I especially like the K one. Is it kind?
Is it kind? Oh, I'm okay. I'm not gonna say it.
I'm sorry.
Kindness is free, everybody. Kindness is free, everybody.
That's right. I'm sorry if I caused some confusion. The reason why I asked about Poet, if he's still in here, Brian Lucas, is because his channel is really neat. He does his own poetry. He writes his own poetry and works and has people on to talk about what they write, either prose or poetry, and has them do some reading. So because I was reading a poem kind of related to what we're talking about, but it's by a different author, obviously Linda Ellis, that I wanted to see if he was still in because I thought he'd appreciate it, as well as other people would.
Oh,
but because he loves poetry and he writes poetry.
I love that. Okay, I guess we're at the bottom of my show and tell, except for my cup to make everybody laugh on a goodbye thing. So I did have a new cup. It's not going to show, but it says, I came, I saw, I forgot what I was doing, went back, got distracted, and have no idea what's going on. Is this my cup? I have to pee.
Oh, that's great.
This is what my life feels like right now. So there you go.
And you know what I said, the thing before you said is a good way to assess if people around you are positive or negative. That's a good idea, Marie. I like that too.
Marie, absolutely.
Not only for yourself, but for others. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. So,
well, yeah, we're going to be working on positive psychology in the Facebook group, and we have lots of homework we have to do.
Yeah, we do. I'm gonna have to post a lot of this stuff on Facebook to make sure it's accessible there.
I love it. No, it's really neat. I think that's gonna. I'm hoping it's gonna to give people something to utilize as a resource because it's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really like that. But y'all, she's got fire. I got water. We got.
Yeah, it's I was in San Diego in 2007 when there was about a mile or two away. There was houses that were just from a fire, and we learned our lesson then. Like, if it's close, you evacuate pretty soon, because we evacuated around the time when everyone else was. But sometimes with Southern California, it's like if it moves from it can't move from the ocean, and it moves from like the east over here. But anyway, the east and the north sometimes, and then where are you supposed to go? So we have to go farther south. So this time we have a route, but it's not. We have this. You know what? It's like Florida in hurricane season. It's like you guys with storms. Not to say that it's any worse or better. It's just you're used to it, right? You get kind of used to it and accustomed to what you have to do. So
yeah, I mean that's absolutely that. No, you're absolutely correct, because like everybody's like, oh my god, it's like what's oh my god about? I don't know what is going on with this, but okay. So thank you so much, Kathy, for going and looking for that because this is actually I really wanted. This is the one I have posted in my office right here. Actually, this is actual pictures. So. But I don't know how to get it over there. So let me see. This actual picture is the one that I have posted in my office. And okay, now here we go. One more thing.
I have a question. She says, I have a mug that says, if you drop your keys in a volcano, let them go. What if you drop it in the toilet and the toilet is full, if you know what I'm saying? That's another question.
My keys? I'm going to be getting my keys. Anyway. There's got to be something to use.
Yeah,
there's a plunger. I'll use the handle.
All right.
Okay. Wait,
Um,
present. Okay, what did you do? What did I do? What did I do? Here we go. It has been said, time heals all wounds. I do not agree. The wound remains. In time, the mind, protecting its sanity, covers them with scar tissue and the pain lessens, but it is never gone. Rose Kennedy. There you go. Thank you so much, y'all, for finding that for me.
am I
That's
sitting
what
on
it
a
is.
Star Trek chair? I am. It's like no, this
Oh,
is
I was
actually
leaning up. I was
this is
leaning up.
like a quilt. So if I do this, there's like my great chair. It's my easy chair that I sit in. That's comfy, so I wear it. And then this my mom made me a nice purple
Oh,
quilt.
thank
My
you,
favorite color
Alicia.
is purple.
Then purple, purple, purple.
Um,
Oh,
I wish.
purple.
Yeah,
Hey,
I like purple.
we might be visiting purple up maybe next time.
Oh
We
jeez,
may get through this. It's worth it.
we might have to put on our purple suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
All
think
right.
it'll make it. But y'all, I really appreciate y'all. We're gonna be going to the Facebook page and continuing this discussion there. And if anybody wants to come on about this subject, anybody from the chats or anything like that for during the week, Wednesday, obviously, not going to be for me because I'm going to have a hurricane here. But after that, we would love it.
Yeah. Usually we do something at the beginning of the week, like today, and then something towards the end of
No,
the
on
week.
Thursday, yeah, we like to do
Yeah,
stuff on
Thursday
Thursday.
usually Thursdays look good. So
Yeah,
whatever. But we'll probably be back on Thursday. And if you guys want
and
to continue talking about this, I'm probably not yet today, but in the next day or so, I'll be posting more about positive psychology and
I'm
whatever your
absolutely
thoughts are.
loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I was sitting there trying to throw my hair up, and I was like, oh, I was pulling my hair up, and I was like trying to listen. I was like, oh wait, I've already learned about this. It's just what my brain. It's funny. It's like it's been so long since I've been in school. I do my continuing education, but I always do it on something different. Like right in usually in the form of what I have to work with every day. So,
Yeah.
Oh, we can room Ray Poe. Sure. Let me get his link. Hang on. I'll get the link.
And by the way, I was going to say, I know some of you have channels. Would definitely anyone if they want to post about their channel in the comments and we can
Yes,
definitely
please.
want to do that. Obviously, I talked about Poet. He has a channel that he has people on weekly. I know some of you do. So please post it in the comments, and we'll make sure that we.
Miss Sunrise already got it. See, I can't get there fast enough. I'm trying to learn my new equipment. Thank you, Miss Sunrise. Yeah, if y'all have a channel, we want to promote every. We're not. We're just not that.
Yeah. So,
So please, we want
all right.
everybody to succeed. Okay.
Well, thank you, Keilah, and now
Thank
you
you,
have to get some rest today.
Yeah, probably gonna sleep tonight, and because my eyes are burning so like crazy. Uh, I'm gonna, yes, I'm gonna copy that link and go room rate. At least say hi to Poe. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay. Did he have Eric? Alicia, does he have? If he hadn't gone yet, does he have? I mean, Paul on today. Hey, love it. I guess she must have already left because he had Windy City Dayton, but that was I think he said Tuesday night. He'll have him back on. Paul. That was really interesting about what's going on in Chicago, and I really liked watching that collab. And he has a part 2. Yeah, I do have some eye drops somewhere right here. You're right. Thank you, Sophia. She's always her and Kay.
Nice.
It's probably if
All
I was
right.
responsible.
Well,
But
thank you
bye.
all for
Love
coming, and thanks
y'all
for the people
so
that
much.
come in later on the replay, and we'll see you all soon.
Yep, and I'm gonna see y'all in Pope for real quick. Hang on.